Hi, hi everyone. Welcome to this live. Welcome. Oh, welcome, Alexia. Welcome. Thank you for coming on. How is the Friday? Can you imagine we reach Friday already? It almost seemed like, oh my God, we were just at Monday. Now we're at Friday. Matter of fact, we were like in January and you just woke up and it is November 6th. Oh Lord, 2020 has been like 10, 15 years in one already. How you feel about just hurrying up to finish the year? Hurrying up to finish the year? Oh wow. So I can't really wait until 2020 is finished, but I am grateful. Remember, when you come on, thank you for coming. Let us have some discussion. We want to hear your thoughts this evening. Look at the topic we're talking about today, managing your expenses during this pandemic. And it seemed to be a pandemic of all pandemics. I don't know, but somehow it just feel I didn't think that we would be at this stage where we would find ourselves like in Jamaica, walking around with mask on, like routine. It looks abnormal, it looks different, it looks funny. Yet this is now seeming to be our regular life. And it is a challenge. It is a challenge many times. It is a challenge so often for young people in general. And when you look at like the little children and they are up in their mask and it just look not so right. So I can't wait until this pandemic is over. And then when you think about it, when I think about it and realizing that, boy, so many businesses. I pass so many businesses that are closed, and then you hear a number of persons just complaining. Those of us who still can afford to put food on our table, oh my God, it's just a blessing. So we kind of have to be ensuring that we're looking out for each other. And hi, Alexia. Welcome. We have to look out for each other. We have to look out for our neighbors. We have to look out for the children around us. We just have to be good neighbors now, good friends, those who we don't see for a while. We need to be calling them up. We need to be checking on them because somehow they it's not just the sickness or they're not sick. They have not caught COVID, but so many persons are just feeling challenged, like in their homes and don't want to come out. Just this evening, I was talking to this elderly lady. She's probably about 80, and she's so worried about her church not being open and the fear that she has because when you hear, oh, if you're over 65 or you're over 70, stay home. Oh my God, it's just so difficult. But she doesn't come out a lot. And today she made a trip out and she was quite nervous. So one of the things I asked her about was, how do you stay in touch with even your church family? Because she's a church lady, and she said, boy, she hasn't been to church. You don't hear a lot from them, but she talks to those in her neighborhood. So, gentle people, remember to be good neighbors. And as we talk about being good neighbors, remember that many persons around us are in need, and we know that we are in need too. And the reason we know is because we know everything expensive now. And if we're talking about our situation in Jamaica, we know that so many things are so expensive now. Everything like it's through the roof. Because in Jamaica, our expenses are tied to the US dollar. Like maybe right around the world, yes. But every single thing you can put your hands on have a US dollar attachment to it. And because of the fluctuation, welcome. I see 4 persons here. Thank you for joining. Please, I want you to share in this discussion this evening. So we're talking about how to manage your expenses during COVID. During the pandemic, we really haven't gotten into full discussion yet on that, but that is where we're heading, because boy, if we don't learn to manage those expenses, we're going to find ourselves in some serious problems. And I am not so sure about on your side. So I want you to share some tips about how we really can manage our expenses, because that is going to be one of the big factors in whether or not we survive as a unified family, or several families are now broken because of the stress, the financial stress, some serious stress. So we have to find a way to manage. We have to find a way to really curtail our spending, and to reduce some of those habits that we have formed over the years. You just like this kind of thing, and you can afford to buy it, and you buy it, and it wasn't anything, and then it was quite good. Right now, even if you have a job, you don't know. COVID don't look like it going nowhere very soon. COVID just look like it's sitting there, and you're faced with a lot of problems. So if you don't learn to manage the money you have now and manage it well, we're going to be in some very, very serious problems. So I want to hear how you think we can manage COVID and manage our expenses from the little that we have now. And if you thought you had a lot of money, you realize that now, boy, you have to be counting the dollar. And so I want you to tell me how you figure that we can really do better at managing the money that we have. Can you actually save save back on some of those bills that you've been paying? I don't know, but we have to find a way, because if we don't find a way, the dollar that we have will not be stretching. So we have to find a way to manage the expense. So one of the things I was thinking, for my part, really, and I'm sure it applies to so many of us, is that because many of us are working from home now, we're going to have these bills, the utilities are going up, the other cost in our homes going up. For me, food takes quite a bit of money. As I turn around, I want to eat something many days. I don't know what is going on, but as I look around, I feel like I should be eating something. So I said to myself, no, this can't really work out. It's not going to work out well, health-wise and financial-wise. It's not going to work out. So how do I manage that? I am going to have to find a way to kind of restrict that kind of habit. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Remember, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your comments. What do you have to say? I want you to join in the discussion. So let me hear. So, like how we're in our homes now, I was saying I want us to find a way to manage. And I know that I have to find a way to manage my food bill because that is one of my biggest bills. Like, I have to find a way to reduce my appetite. And but it doesn't happen every day, you see. But there are some days that I just feel like I should be eating something. When you're working, you always feel like you should be eating something. So I have to find a way to reduce that because the food bill, it's not pretty. And because you're not going out, I am thinking that one of the ways you can manage your expense is to plan out your trips, that when you're going out, you would have several things that you're going to be doing that day. So you're not going to have to go out making 2 to 3 trips probably for the day, or you're not going to make as many trips as you did before when COVID was not happening. So if you can reduce your trips on the outside, so everything you want to do, you kind of pack it into your day. So you know you start out early, and once you begin to get into those habits of just planning out your day and making it a regular thing for you to do, that you can save quite a bit on your fuel costs, because that is a tidy sum. But you know what? One of the things I have found is that the expense for traveling is not as much because I also don't have to spend a lot of time in the traffic. So I get to where I'm going faster. So usually a trip that should, on a normal regular day, that should take you 10-15 minutes. It takes you like an hour and a half in Kingston here. And that's a difficult time. But right now, I find that I don't have to be spending all that time in traffic. So that also saved me on some of the bills. That is for the utility, the fuel cost. I don't have to spend all of that. No. So let me hear what you think about that. Let me hear, please. Let me hear what you think about that, because we have a number of persons who would have been spending a lot of time in traffic, and they're going quite a distance, and then you have to be burning a lot of fuel. Now, the next thing I am thinking, now I have seen since COVID, since we got our first case in March, I don't know if you remember that day when the minister announced, oh, we have one case that that is now confirmed. I can remember clearly I was heading home from work the day when the news broke, and I don't know where people came from, but it was like a flood on the street. You couldn't get anywhere because it was just panic all over Kingston. It was just complete panic and chaos. It kind of reminded me of the day when the big earthquake shook. When was it? January, February, thereabout, when we had that big earthquake and the whole place was full of traffic. Somehow, that was the same thing that was happening that day. Everybody was rushing to get disinfectant and alcohol and all kinds of stuff and food because, oh, maybe all of we probably thought that this was the end of the road for so many of us. But here we are. So guess what I noticed? Few weeks after that, when we were told that we needed to start working from home and companies needed to think about getting persons to work from home, I noticed that the streets became filled with persons walking and running in the mornings and in the evenings. That's in my neighborhood. And I'm thinking, like, when you would normally walk in the morning, you would see probably, yeah, we normally would see like two persons walking. And when COVID started and everybody was pushed in their homes, you have to be walking on the side because the road was so full of people in the mornings. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is good. So one of the ways I thought that, saving money could be some of those gym subscriptions that so many of us had. Well, I never had any, but a lot of persons were going to the gym and they needed a personal trainer, and they couldn't do anything unless they went to the gym. They were not accomplishing their weight goals and all of this. And when COVID said the gym has to be closed for this and this number of days and whatever, we survived. So, and they found ways of doing virtual gyms and all these things. Could it be that you can actually continue exercising in your homes, finding a way to get virtual exercise online classes, or the free ones that you probably brushed over because it wasn't too good enough? You wanted personalized training. Could it be that you find a way to do that? Maybe, maybe. So some of these subscriptions, you realize some of them weren't necessary really. So you have the subscription for the gym, and sometimes because you're so tired, you weren't going to the gym anyway. You have the subscription, and because you your friends have it, you just continue with it. Or you wanted like to be in a particular group, so you just go to the gym because it sounds good for you to go to the gym, yeah. Or you subscribe to some magazine that you have to pay for that you don't even read. So there are some ways you can actually cut down on that kind of thing by just sifting through your unnecessary subscriptions that you have piling up, or that you have been spending money on. Then one of the bigger things I have found is that subscription, not just subscription, but that if you're not going anywhere, why do you then spend so much money shopping online still? Yeah, you're going to want to look good when you go out, but why do you spend the money going online to shop still? I don't see the logic in it, but a lot of people say it relieve them stress. You feel good when you buy something new and you're pampering yourself and you deserve it and you just feel nice. Well, maybe it's time to take a look at that feel good situation and realize that no, you can do better with your money these days. You can do much better. So if you can afford to, I think you should decide to cut out some of those subscriptions. You understand? And just find a way to cut out some of those online expenses as well that you are shopping online and shopping unnecessarily, right? So that is part of the challenge that many of us have, kicking these bad habits that we've built up over time, and telling yourself that, boy, this is good for you, or you feel good when when um when you shop. You just feel nice when you shop, maybe, but nobody feel too good because maybe it's not all that good when you do these things and you find yourself you find yourself in some serious financial problems when you're finished, because it is just spending money unnecessarily. You're just spending money. So I want you to think about that. Again, I'm saying, so Alexa, what do you think? Tell me what you think. What do you think? Tell me what you think, people. Tell me what you think. Type it in the chat. Let me hear what you think. What kind of things you have on your side that really is just causing you to spend money unnecessarily? You go places that you don't necessarily need to go, simply because you can't take the stress of being in your home. You you find yourself in financial bind because you can't curtail your appetite for a lifestyle that you can really no longer afford. Because if you realize it, you sometimes, the lifestyle that you've been living, you realize it really was not your lifestyle if you think about it. Because if you look at the money you have, you realize you can't afford it, but you were spending there. So what do you think? What do you think, Alexia? What is your take on it? What kind of bill you think you can cut out to cut back on some of these expenses? Because COVID says you can't do so much as you did before. Mm-hmm. Tell me what you think you can cut out. Hmm? Yeah. All right. So I want to hear from you, man. You are a little bit silent. So if we are in this thing together, as people in this thing together, why is it that we cannot afford to drop some things that right now isn't the best thing for us? Because you have to try and save some money. You have to try and save back some of the money that you've had spending over time. You have to just figure out a way to cut back, because if you have a job now, you don't know what's going to happen. So many persons these days do not have a job, and then if you have one, you have to try and protect it. And if you have one that is paying you, and the likelihood of you still collecting the same amount of money that you were collecting like at the beginning of COVID is good, how you know that that is going to continue? Alexa says we used to buy a lot of food before pandemic that we didn't really need. Now that we need to cut down on spending, we don't need to buy those. So true, so true. And as Alexa says that, and eating out can stop. Yeah. Well, as I say, eating out can stop. Now it's not even a good time for you to be eating out anywhere, because you don't know what's happening out there. And one of the things, you say cut down on this spending and, buying food that you didn't really need. Sometimes you thought you needed it, because guess what? One of the things that I have found is that if you send your child to go and find out what food is there so that you can make up your grocery list, they never see anything. There's nothing there. So you end up buying the things you already have. You have to many times go and check and check and check for yourself to make sure, because the kids don't seem to be able to find anything at all. So Stop buying unnecessary things. Stop buying the things that you already have in your house. Fix up your own meals and stop eating out, because somehow, figure this. You have pandemic going on. A lot of people are out of jobs, yet their food prices gone up. If you're buying food in a restaurant, it gone up. Supermarket things gone up. Everything raised, and people don't have no money. Remember also that if you were earning, whatever your earning was, the things you normally would buy, you can't buy it anymore. You can't buy the same amount of things. So if you don't cut down on your expenses, you're going to be in some serious problems. So people, remember, you have to cut down some of your bills. Cut down the bills them. If you need to, many children are at home now. So lunch money, many times you would be probably struggling to give them lunch money. That gone. You can cook food now. You don't have to go and buy the dry stuff. You can cook the food. Also, you find out that persons somehow have determined in their minds that they're going to, at this stage of their lives, they're going to take on added expenses. Why do you need, for example, a loan now for your regular bills that you have, especially from the loan sharks, that the interest rate is so high? And maybe you're in a bad situation, but maybe if it is that you could cut down some of those bills, you either wouldn't need it or you wouldn't need as much as before. So you try your very best and you do what is necessary to really cut out some of the expenses that you have. So when I think about it, one of the big expense maybe from this week's start is the expense that some of us are going to face with medical bills because of the US election that is running up so many people blood pressure. I don't know what you think about it, but a lot of people finding themselves in Jamaica. Everywhere you turn in Jamaica is the US election, and it's not finishing, it seems, for any time soon. So, a lot of people going to be in some serious problems when it comes on to the medical bills because COVID, the election not playing with people, this election not playing with people. This election is causing so much anxiety and stress over here in Jamaica. I don't know why, but I can't wait to see what is going to be the final result, and I'm not going to have any pressure over it. So tell me what you figure is the thing that you probably can do best to reduce the problems you face now. What best can you do? So listen here, expenses in COVID is not the best thing, especially when you don't have no income. So that is why I keep saying to you, you cannot sit down and decide that you're going to simply focus on one thing, because no matter what, if you get laid off, the bill is still coming. You have to eat, you have to, your children have to eat. If you have medical bills, you have to pay them. Utilities, you have to pay them. And so the job, while you thank God for the job, you have to find a way to make some more money. So maybe the next time we can talk about the different things you can do to find a way to make some money. But right now, it's not pretty. Right now, it's not pretty around here when it comes on to the bills. And even if you think that you're not like burning the light. I saw someone the other day, and what they said was, in their country, the utility company gives incentive for them to for less usage. I think it was Australia. And I'm saying, why can't we have that here where if you burn less electricity, you get some incentive? Why can't we have it? Then the other thing I realized was that Water Commission also increased the bill. While you are supposed to be ensuring that you are maintaining proper hygiene, right? Water Commission says, you know what? Since the hotels closed down and since commercial places closed down, we don't have the money anymore. We're going to have to go to government and get some money. But your bill increased. So I don't understand how can we cut that, but so there are things that we can't really cut out, but then we have some serious things that we have been doing and wasting money just draining out of your pocket that you need to be ensuring that you just cut them down. Cut them down. What's the term I used the other day? Cut and pair, I think I had said to somebody. It's really cutting and pairing because if you had $1,000 last month, this month you have the $1,000, it can't buy the same thing. So you have to cut down everything you can think of now. You have to be on like a serious reduction because we got our first case of COVID in March and we're at November now, and many of us have lost our jobs. So if that is the case, it means no matter what saving you have, it's not going to last. Because if you have not been going into the saving already, I am happy for you. I'm really glad for you. If you're not going to saving, I'm really glad for you. But lots of people never have no saving because one them never earn enough. So if you're not really think about it, try not run up try not get sick. Try not to get sick because the medical bill is not pretty, right? If you can cut your utilities, whatever way, open your window, catch some breeze, open your door, go outside and walk. God provides sunshine, He provides cool breeze. Go and thank you for joining. Welcome. Remember, thumbs up this video, please. Thank you. And let us hear your thoughts. We're talking about cutting your expenses during this pandemic. What are your thoughts? What are some of the things you believe we can cut? Or from your side, what can you cut? What bills, what expenses you believe that people can cut? Because boy, if we can get any kind of help, any idea of how we're really going to just be able to manage. Hi, Madeleine TV. Welcome. Good night, family. How are you? Thank you for listening and you're on the job. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So we're talking about, yeah, Madeleine, yeah, you're busy on the job. But we're talking about how people really need to cut some expenses now because the pandemic beating us hard. And if we are not careful, we're going to really find ourselves in some serious problems. And some of us really, we haven't learned yet, maybe because we still have a job. God bless the job. So we haven't learned yet how to curtail expenses. So you're at home, and I was saying, like for me, I find myself probably buying food because as I turn around, some days I just want something to eat. I don't know what is happening. Thank you, Nicolette. Thank you. Welcome. We can grow what, amen. Did you know that COVID started a garden? Did I tell you I started a garden myself and had callaloo and sweet pepper, pak choy, yeah. So Boy, and one of the things I was concerned about before was that I didn't have any soil. And you see, when COVID came in, I made sure I run and I had to buy some. I had a difficulty saying, boy, I'm going to buy soil because I just had a difficulty with it. I don't know why. But when COVID came, I had to do something about that. So I am really in a season where I am thinking that if we can share ideas as to how we can help people to just reduce some bills that we've been having. Yeah, I had to buy dirt, Madeleine, because it's just as you touch the top of the soil, it was just marl under it. So I had to go buy dirt. That's why I had a problem with it for so long. But then when COVID came, I really had no choice. I wanted to do something, a garden, as Nicolette says, right? I wanted to do something, so I had to buy it. Where are you have soil, Madeleine? And Nicolette, I know that you had your garden, right? Did you get to reap anything? I got. Thank you, Nicolette. Thank you for sharing the video. Thank you. So we want persons to join in and just let's have a good discussion and wrap on how we can kind of help each other. So I was saying before you join Madeleine and Nicolette that I I am believing that because we are really at home now and we don't have to go out as much, when we do go out, we can plan our trips, plan all the things that we have to do, all our activities in like in one trip, so you don't have that fuel cost to deal with for these trips that we've been taking, because driving to and from work was taking quite a bit. And now that you don't have to do it, you can actually plan your trip. So if you're heading to the office, you have a property. Nicolette says we have a property garden and we have reaped what? Pumpkin, callaloo, banana, and planting. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Congratulations. I hope it continues. Madeleine TV says no. But oh, it's tile all the way around the house, but my mom have her garden in Spanish. That's so good. And I've heard about persons doing their garden on top of their roof, tomato and scallion and thyme on top of their roof. Imagine that. So we don't have no cut the transportation cost, Nicolette says, and save that money. Yeah. Right. So, right. You have to really try. And I was saying also that one of the things I found when COVID came in my neighborhood, like the road was full in the mornings when you go to exercise. And before that, it was just like two persons I used to see when I am out exercising in the morning. And when COVID came, the road was full. And we have been spending, oh yeah, Madeleine, on like the boxes, they get the garden boxes and they plant it on their roof. Actually, I know this lady in Spanish Town, she does flowers on her roof and she does the vegetables on her roof. Right. And I think she says she has a tank that she got modified to do the watering and all these things. So the exercise, a lot of persons were going to the gym and they had to use personal trainers and all these things. It's all good, but when you come to now thinking about how we're so restricted in our earnings now, and we don't know COVID just not going anywhere soon, right? You have to really be planning what you're going to spend. Why am I spending this amount of money? should I be spending it? And one of the things I was saying, Nicolette, and I think you and I shared it the other day, when you send your kids to look at to take stock of the things you have in your cupboard before you go and shop, they don't see anything. And you end up buying the same things again. So we have to do that. And for us women, I do not know, but somehow we find it very appealing to still be shopping online, even though we're not going anywhere. Like we just feel good. Why are we spending that money? And you don't know December coming, January coming, and you have that money to spend. None of us know what is going to happen in terms of our jobs. It may seem secure now, but it's not going to be there like it may not be secure like that. First in, first out method. Yes, Nicolette. Nicolette says first in, first out method for food inventory. Right. So true. And sometimes we have the things put on until they're spoiled. We can't afford that anymore. We can't afford to throw away food anymore, which is why we need to ensure that we're just doing a serious check. Maybe on a weekend we do a serious check, like today's Friday, right? You come in from work and you're exhausted. But on a Friday, one of the things we normally probably do on a Friday, many persons, many homes, oh, they have to go out and they eat on a Friday. They have to buy fast food on a Friday because it needs to feel like a Friday. I've heard that. When COVID start now and with your money, the budget you have, whether Friday or no Friday, you kind of have to cut that out or cut it down and see how your own food tastes. Do your own Friday thing in your house because it is not the best thing. It's not the best thing especially if you have kids around and if you find yourself not having any money, it's not the best thing when you can't take care of your bills. So if we really cut the expenses, there was another thing that I was thinking of. Many persons have credit card, and I thought maybe my mind was just not working as fast. But my thought was that if I have a credit card and the credit card, which normally carries a high interest rate, I have it still using in a time when I am not earning as much as before, then that is not the best decision to make. So I am believing that sometimes I was saying to someone the other day that we need to probably go on a cash only budget. So you put down your card, you don't incur the bill because sometimes you incur the bill, even though a credit card comes in very handy, you incur the bill, but you can't pay it off. And if you can't pay it off, the interest rate is very high. So you have to really look at it. And nobody really should be borrowing now for your food bill. You shouldn't be borrowing to spend interest to incur interest for food. You have to curtail that, reduce it. The card force you to overspend, yeah? But how it force you to overspend? How does a card force you really to overspend? Frugal spending, yeah, frugal spending indeed. You think people into that, don't you, Nicolette? Frugal spending, limiting your spending. And Madeleine, how does a card force you to overspend? Tell me if I am. Yeah, it is needed indeed. Tell me if I'm. Madeleine says because you have it, so you shop till you drop. Yeah. Guess what, too, Madeleine? I was thinking that maybe the angle you were taking it from, you're right on that. You're shocked because you have it and it looked like you have money when it's really bank money you're spending. One of the things, though, Madeleine, is that when you're spending on your credit card, some places tell you that you can't spend below a certain amount of money to use the credit card. And because you can't spend below a certain amount, you spend more than you intended to spend in the first place. Right? So that is how now your bill climb. And when it climb, you can't pay the bill and you find yourself in problem. Right? So boy, this spending habit that we have, our appetite for things is just overwhelming. We have a serious appetite for unnecessary things sometimes. You just see it, you like it, you can afford it, but you have to now realize that you have to take a second look at that. Right? But then say, yeah, that's true. I think it's a trick to have. Of course it is. It is. That's how they make their money. And they're going to tell you, oh, the rate on the card is high, so we have to do that. But it's to get you to spend. And so you notice what you're spending it on as well, Madeleine, is not going to be good. And the reason is when you go to the cashier and the cashier says, oh, we can't take the card, you have to be spending X amount of money. What you're picking up is usually right where the cashier is, which is snacks and sweets, just to make up your things. You're not turning back to go and buy soap or one of those things. You're going to buy the little foolishness right there. So you find yourself really not getting value for your money if you look at it that way. But why then do we allow ourselves to be tricked like that? We shouldn't, because after a while we need to understand that the money just going out like that. So, boy, this spending is not the best of things at all right now. And our biggest spending is on our belly. Our biggest spending is on the things that we can sometimes, many times, cut down on because they're really not filling you up, and you find yourself just being, what you call it now, getting addicted to the bad habits. So when this pandemic really is over, I'm hoping that the good habits that we formed, the ones that says to us we have to do things for ourselves, do more things for ourselves than paying persons to get it done for us. We can save some money there that will continue. That we can check out our pantry before we go and buy the very same things that we have. And we have to be throwing things out because they are expired. Welcome to the live. I want you to share your thoughts on how you can save some money during COVID. Don't forget to thumbs up the live, please, and let us have a good discussion. I do King, welcome my brother. There goes my brother, people, Madeleine and Nicolette. There goes my brother. Tell me, Duking, how you think we can cut down some of the expenses we have? Welcome, because COVID is taking root. And people, if you had saving, the saving going down. If you have not touched the saving yet, it is very likely you soon have to touch it because things are getting more expensive and the salary is not going to be increasing anytime soon. And if you still have a job, it may not necessarily be there. So we have to try and get ourselves into a rhythm to save some money now, right? Get ourselves into a place where We do better with our we have to manage the expenses, man. Manage the expenses. So looking what you think, minimize the spending, minimize it to like cut it down to the bone. Cut it down to the bone. So now you have to kind of weigh the food that you eat. It can't be belly full anymore. It can be you're going here. A matter of fact, you know, go a lot of places, but everywhere you're going, you're thinking, oh, you need to be doing a wholesale shopping for it. You have to cut it out. People have to get used to seeing you in your clothes more than one time. You probably have to cut out um, some of those allowances that you used to probably give your children. You probably need to reduce it a little bit because they're in the home now and they don't have to be getting, they don't have to be spending all of that. So these are ways you can cut. And body shopping online seem to be taking Jamaicans by storm. Everybody seems to think that they have to be online shopping, but it's not the best of things to do right now because you know when you shop online you're going to have to pay them charges. Those import charges, you have to pay for it. So I if you cook 3 times a day, cook once. So all I know, you're going to cook a big pot. You're going to cook one big pot. I can share 3 times. Thank you, Madeline, for joining. Thank you so much. It was good to have you. Good to hear your thoughts. Not a problem. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, Duking, what to say? Cook one time now and cook one big pot, and make sure that you eat a good belly full. Yeah. You eat a good belly full, don't it? I know, I know. So we have a number of ways we can really just pare down the expenses, pare it down, pare it down. If you used to spend $50 on something, you have to look at how you can probably bargain your way down. Everybody used to like paint up during Christmas. Christmas coming and they're painting, they're painting. You probably can, you don't have to paint every Christmas now, right? Because nobody not supposed to be coming to your yard now. You can just do your thing. Work with what you have. Balance out the things that you have, right? Allow them to work for you because if we take a careful look at our homes, I am sure we're going to find some things there that we can use. And we can use them for a long time, right? So we are not in need. Duking says, adapt me do. One time a day me cook. So 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 hold on. Oh, and then it's here. If you eat a good plate of food in the morning, you don't have to eat no whole belly full, right? Because people think that they have to eat belly full to feel all right. Yeah? That's what we're saying, don't it? We don't have to eat no whole belly full to feel all right. We just have to just eat to our satisfaction. Yeah, well, not necessarily satisfaction, but reasonable. Be reasonable. Be reasonable. You understand? So this is one of the things that we were talking about. Yeah. So you tell me, Duking, you cook a big pot? Tell me how that go. Tell me. Yeah, one big pot. Exactly. And it work. And nobody quarreling, don't it? Everybody feel good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, after vegetable. Oh yeah, yeah, vegetable enough. And Duking, I know you do a lot of planting up stuff not too. Nicolette was on the live indicating that she had done some planting and she got stuff out of it. And I told you that I did some planting too and got some stuff out of it. So we actually can do things to we actually can do things to help ourselves. You understand? We can do things to help ourselves. We don't have to be spending all that money sometimes. And it is time now for us to realize that we can actually help ourselves instead of just buying every single thing, buying everything. We can actually help ourselves. So let us let us remember now. Let me see. 1 second, guys. Let us see right here. Right? So let us remember that when it come on to expenses, they're not going away. Your bills not. Hi, Swain. Hi, welcome to our live. Welcome. How are you? We're talking about how we can cut see our expenses during COVID. What you think, Swain? What you think we can do to cut down on some of the expenses? What are some of the things we can do? Where I am soliciting your thoughts now. You have cassava. Duking says, sis, have cassava. I know you have cassava. Oh, that's cool. So I am. So Duking says he cooks once per day, Swain. And we're talking about how we need to curtail, especially don't send your if you sweet cassava. Oh, so you use it and make bami or you cook it, you boil it. And I was saying, don't don't leave it to your kids to look in the cupboard for the things that you have before you make your grocery list because the children never see the things in there and you end up buying the same things you have in there. So it says I eat home cooked meals only. So good. So that save you a ton of money, which people don't think about. When you add up your cost for lunch, and I was saying every Friday, sometimes people don't cook. They feel that they need to eat out because it is Friday and they don't cook on a Friday and they don't cook on a Saturday. Now when this pandemic come in, you realize you cannot do the same things you normally do. You have to think differently. You have to. Duke says he has banana plenty. So that coming. Okay, okay, okay. So you do planting as well, right? Oh, Swain says I was guilty of eating out on a Friday. Well, maybe people still do it, Swain, but maybe now you can cut it down a bit, like you don't do it every Friday, right? You don't do it every Friday, right? You reduce it. You reduce it. And so that save you some money because that is the thing is, Swain, sometimes we don't like our own. Sometimes you need another taste, somebody else cooking. And that is why we sometimes say, you know what, today let me just go and buy something. But in COVID now, you can't take the same approach. You can't take the same approach. You have to know that this is a different time. And the money you're spending, you have to think not just once and twice about it. You have to think 3 or 4 times. You have to wait. You have to. New King says, well, Mrs., don't cook on a Friday. We fry. Or Duke says, him still cook on a Friday. I do that too. But many persons don't do it. We know that, don't it, Duking? Many persons don't do it. Don't do it. So then make sure to thumbs up the video, please. Make sure, please. And what else? What else we cutting out? Or what other habits we can form out of this? Because the thing is, they say the studies show that if you do something like 6 7 times, it becomes a habit. So you see the things that we know are things we want to change, and COVID is now forcing us to change it. We want to still keep those habits, those good habits around when COVID finish. So things like eating less on the road and eating more from your own kitchen is good. Things like not spending, not walking with your credit card every day. Things like trying to spend cash. Things like making sure when you go to the supermarket, you you are you have a list so that you're not just walking and picking up things off the shelf without any kind of plan. And sometimes you pick up things that you don't need and you leave the things that you actually need. Sometimes it is that you simply spend money without even thinking about it. You don't think twice. Welcome, Shanghai's Home Decor and Lifestyle. Thank you for coming. Please thumbs up. And we are talking here about how to manage our expenses during COVID and during this pandemic. And it has been a serious time for so many of us. How do we really cut some of our unnecessary expenses and do a better job? Because we know COVID is hanging around. COVID is like a guest that won't leave your house. So we are having to spend in this time. We must spend wiser in this time. Not that you're going to starve yourself or be a miser, but you have to think more wisely about where your money is going, how you're spending, because not many persons have jobs. Not many persons will have jobs come next month. Not many persons are going to have jobs come next year because the economy is not going to bounce back. All the statistics are showing that the revival is not going to come, not revival, the economy is not going to come back, or the what you call it now, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to rebound for another 2 3 years. So no matter how much money you have right now, it's not going to probably last for very long unless you spend wisely, unless you cut down on the things that we've been buying unless you cut down on the places that you've been going unnecessarily, or you run to the store right now because you need X. Tomorrow you need Y, you're running back to the store. You probably just need to make a list so that when you go, you're picking things up. Also, you can cut your expenses, if you buy in bulk, don't it? If you buy things in large quantities, you will spend less, and you make less trips there, and it serves you longer. So we're trying to work on filling in those weak areas in our lives, because the spending habit that many of us formed over the years have been really bad, and they have weighed on us seriously. Our families have suffered as a result of the spending. So one of the things, Shangi, am I pronouncing your name right? Shangi's Home Decor. Am I pronouncing Shangi correctly? And what I learned from your channel, Shangi, because when I come and Shangi, okay, thank you, Shangi. What I learned from your channel, is that you spend wisely. When you tell us about it's the dollar, I think you say it's the Dollar Tree or the Family Dollar, that you get a lot of the things that you're using. It tells us that you have taken a conscious effort to really think about your expenses. And this is what we want people to think about. I know too, so Nicolette, I'm not sure if you're still here. I know Duking does that. I know Swain, you are also onto a season of really considering your expenses, because that's the only way we survive. So yes, Dollar Tree. Yes, yes. You like to save money where you can. And you find out that so many times, many of us do not make enough effort to save, because because we're working, because we think we can afford it now, we don't make the effort. And because we don't make the effort, we're going to pay for it dearly if this economy don't rebound. And here in Jamaica, we're saying, Shangi, everything is tied to the US dollar. Every single thing we buy in Jamaica is tied to the US dollar. And our dollar is not right now, I think. Swain, if you can look for me, I am not so sure if you're still there, but the US dollar, I think, is now, Alexa, if you could look to about 149 to 1. We have to spend 149 Jamaican for each US dollar. That tells you how much we have to spend on the basic things, right? So they're not cheap. So therefore, you have to really cut down on your expenses. So if you are buying food, try and buy in bulk. You don't have to be burning the AC when you actually can go out and catch some breeze, or you're burning the fan because you don't want to open your windows. In Jamaica, we are so blessed, Shangi. Shangi. Right, we're so blessed with just having a nice weather. So we don't have to be using heat and those things. But yeah, it gets hot sometimes, but we are blessed with just good climate, cool and nice, and you can go out and enjoy it. But we don't take the opportunity. No, we stay in the house and we burn the AC because, it makes us cool, yes, but when the bill comes, we can't afford to pay it. So we really have to be thinking wisely. And the shopping, man, that habit of buying things. And guess what, too, guys? You realize that the persuasive shopping, you buy because somebody convinced you that, oh, this is good for you. You can't do without it. If you don't buy it, your life going to end right here. Yeah. And so we go and we buy it. Guess what? The things are on sale, or so they claim, and we go and we buy it. You realize that they're really not on no sale, because sometimes they increase the price. Shangi, I don't know how it goes in. Where exactly are you, Shangi? But in Jamaica, when they say that the things are on sale, what happens is that they actually increase the price first, many times. So when you think you're getting it at a cheaper price, it is the original price. Or sometimes it's even more expensive than when it was never on sale. And the idea of thinking you're buying things on sale, California, okay, they raise the price to bring it to exactly. So it's like a trap that you fall into. Duke King says, when our parents used to say, save for the rainy day, I eat this. I'm telling you, Duke, saving for the rainy day. People don't understand. That is why, for example, one of the things I had said in one of the videos this week is that you have to teach your children to manage money well. Because I think our parents did a reasonably good job to show us how, because maybe they work so hard, and so for them, you couldn't just get up and spend because the money was there. The money was not there. So you're going to have to just curtail your spending and your habits. So we learned earlier on that money can work for you as well as work against you. Right now, money is working against us. So we have to push back hard, right? And so thinking that you're buying the thing on sale, you're really actually spending the money. And you realize after you buy the thing on sale, you don't need it because you maybe have it already, or you're not going anywhere to use it. So because it is on sale, a lot of people tend to buy it, and it's not the best thing. It's not the wisest of thing to do, to just shop because the thing is on sale. It's just not good. So if we can get persons, as many persons as possible, to really see the need to just be more frugal, be more sensible with their spending, be more better stewards of the money that is in their hands, be better keepers for the money and the income that they have now, then we can really do wonders. So I am hoping that we ourselves, who probably have been doing it for quite a while, can just share with others every single time, every opportunity we get. And I say, when I hear Duke King talking about it on his channel, Shaggy, I hear you talking about it, that things don't have to be expensive for you to enjoy it. Because fulfillment and enjoyment don't necessarily come with large amounts of money being spent. You enjoy the process, you enjoy simplicity, you enjoy just working at your own pace. You don't have to be looking to others to think about, oh, I have to do this because it is expensive. It's the only reason I'm going to do it is because, oh, it carries weight in cost. No, because next year you may not have any weight to carry if you continue along the same path. So one of the things I have found is when it comes to Friday evening, people kind of get crazy with their money. And Monday morning, they get mad with themselves because the weekend was used to do just crazy things. They had a rough week. And so Friday, Saturday, They just splurge because they have to treat themselves. The week was so bad. So if we can even think about Friday as, like I've said before in one of my past videos, if we can think of Friday as a building block for bettering our lives, then we can do so much better. If when Friday come, we can think of how we can plan for a better week, how we can make sure that next week I am going to have a good plan. I'm not going to buy things that I don't want. I'm not going to go places that I don't need to go. And all your friends want you to take them here and they want to see this. Nobody is helping you to pay for the fuel or the gas. You don't have to go. You don't have to drive out every single time you feel bored. You don't have to go window shopping every time you think about you have to stay in your home because of COVID, or you just need a drive out. No, you don't have to do it. You have to find different ways of cutting your expenses. You have to think about, we were talking earlier about how persons, you can exercise in your house. You don't have to go to no gym. You can find YouTube videos to exercise, right? You can get the same kind of opportunities out there from spending less and saving some money, because the rainy day, I think it's gonna be hailstone soon when it's gonna get worse before it gets better. And that's why planning from now to strategizing from now is a good way to go. How you're going to fix things so that it don't get away from you, so that you don't have to be going to borrow and beg and find yourself going into depression because COVID has sent people into depression, you know. I don't, COVID has sent persons because the financial pressure is true. Yes, Shangi says that is so true. Finding ways to occupy our time than getting gratification from buying. Yes. And I'm wondering, Shangi, do you think women have a bigger problem shopping than men these days? These modern, what you call them, Gen Z or Gen Z? Yeah. Yeah, people find themselves in problems because they just love to shop. And sometimes it's just foolishness that we're buying, you know. Gen Z people have to be in the know. They have to have the latest gadgets. And don't think that the suppliers are not going to sell the latest gadgets. They're going to sell it because the appetite for the new things is so large that even when they say places must close down, you hear people begging government, open up because we have things to sell. Yes, you have to get the latest phone. You have to get the latest toy for your child. You have to have the latest gadget. All of these are really setting us back. And then now you find yourself spending the credit card that you cannot pay. And one of the things I've said here in Jamaica, Shangi, I know you're overseas, but credit card expense is a big thing across the globe. When the credit card comes with the minimum payment on it, Shangi says, I love cosmetics. Yes, I wear makeup, love makeup. I found a subscription for $10 a month so that I would not spend $10 on one lipstick. I found amen to that. Amen to that. So you shopped around and you found something that was reasonable. And that's what we're talking about. Some people don't think about it. Shangi, and even that they think about simply the brand before anything else. No, if you are probably allergic to something, fine, but some people just buy it because it is brand name. And if it's not brand name, they're not going to be caught dead, we would say here in Jamaica. They're not going to be using it. Nobody's going to see them with it. Right? Yes. So you have found a solution that works, that is within your budget, that is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. 5 items for $10 every month. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome, Shangi. I am not hung up on right, right. But you find that so many are. And sometimes people tell themselves that, oh, their children have to have this. But if you don't tell your child, Duking says he was uploading a video. Great Duking. Shangi, did you know that Duking has been monetized now and he's so busy? Because I know you go over there sometimes. He's so busy now, Shangi. Congratulations, Duking. Right? So persons are really, if we could teach them, Shangi, that brand name isn't the be all and end all. Yes, he got monetized, I'm telling you. So that is so good. That is so good. So we have to just really train our minds in a different way. It's like retraining the things that we thought we couldn't do without. You realize that COVID says, yes, of course you can do without it. You don't necessarily need it. Or if you need it, you don't need so much of it. Duking says, thanks, lifestyle. If you need it, you don't need so much. You don't need it so often. It doesn't have to be so expensive. Yeah. So we have to be thinking about solutions over here. Solutions over here. Brand name is not the only thing that work. We can be creative. When I look at your channel, Shangi, and see the creativity right there, I said, oh my God. Thank you, Duking, for sharing out this video. Thank you. Thank you, Erica, my friend. Thank you so much, Miss Dennis, for coming on. Please thumbs up the video. People need to develop a disciplined mind set in regards to money, a disciplined mindset in regards to money management. Remember, yes, remember rainy day. And I'm saying, Miss Dennis, that rainy day, Duking had said it before, rainy day is upon us, and it's going to be hailstone soon because according to our statistics in Jamaica, according to our statistics in Jamaica, the economy is not going to rebound until the early part of 2022. So if we don't curtail and manage now, do better at what we're, if we weren't doing well with our expenses before, if we weren't cutting before, we have to pare and cut right now. Find the most economical thing to really buy. And we were saying, for those of us who have children, don't just send your children in the cupboard to look at the things you have. So you go to the supermarket because they never see anything. They just never see anything. The cupboard have the things in there and they tell you no, it's not there. So you end up buying. Make sure you're buying in bulk. And Shangi was saying, Miss Dennis, that you don't have to, it's not brand name that makes you, because you can spend on the things that are economical within your budget. You plan your things and you spend. It's not the money that should make you happy. Money brings some kind of fulfillment, but you don't have to buy the most expensive things to feel that you are doing well. You don't have to buy the things that your friends are buying. You don't have to be um oh, Friday, it's Friday this evening, you have to eat out. And Shangi in Jamaica here, KFC line is very long on a Friday, and Burger King and Island Grill, because people have to buy fast food to feel that they're living a life on a Friday. And if we would have spent some of that money cooking, we would be able to save a tidy bit, because a lot of places are closing. Our jobs are not secured now. So we have to really just be finding a way to cut down on our expenses. We can't continue the way we have. Cut some of the bills we have been incurring. Cut down some of the like you have the light turned on in every room, even though you're not in every room at the same time, but the light is on in every room. You're washing the dishes and the water is running from the very start to when you're finished. And so your utility bills are really going up. You're just eating away at any kind of um, funds that you have, and you could be using it for something else. And one of the things that I do sometimes is really leave the credit card at home, because the temptation to spend on what you don't need is very high. The temptation is there. So if I don't have the credit card, you know that no spending not going to go on. And if you use the credit card, try and pay your bill. So budget well, so that you're not doing the same kind of the frivolous spending, unnecessary spending. So Miss Dennis, my friend Miss Dennis, what we've talked about making sure you plan your supermarket list and buying bulk. We've talked about not driving up and down. Just plan your trip so you're doing several things on the same day. So you're just doing one trip. We've talked about curtailing, like if you cook once per day, you're eating like that. Duking says he has some cheap solar light at night. Them work. Oh, they work good. Same thing. We can cut down on some of those things. So we were wondering now, Miss Dennis, what else you think we can do? Because cutting down on some of the food bill is going to be good. And we were saying people tend, even though you're not going out to work, people tend to still, they haven't cut down on the shopping online. You're not going anywhere, but you're shopping online still. What you're doing, right? So the bad habits, we're hoping to get away from all of this bad habit. It's not good. So we're really hoping to get rid of some of the bad habits. And what a good day to start when it's Friday, when you're way down and you reflect on the week that is past and you realize, boy, I had a rough week. Fast food for us is homemade right now. That is good. Yeah, hot dogs, hamburgers, literally I make it. Shangi says, literally I make it fast, but the so good. So good, of course, and it tastes better. You know what's going in there. Of course, you make it fast, my dear. And you know what's going in there. You know that it's clean. You know that you're not going to get COVID as a result of them touching it all over. So, yeah, man, we have to just um, change the lifestyle. Change the lifestyle, because not only was this unhealthy for our pockets, it's unhealthy. It's an unhealthy lifestyle that would cost us medical expenses as well. So, on all levels, our belly has been our downfall. Yeah, our belly has been our downfall. so many of us spend on things that on food that really it's just bad. It's just wrong and it's just bad. So you make it fast. And Shangi says, all of COVID, I have had takeout twice. We eat at home. Yeah, I have, well, I don't generally eat out either, Shangi. So even now, you just, that kind of just cut right out. No appetite for anything out there that is fast. Mm-mm. You just eat right at home. And I know that Miss Dennis, my friend, she don't eat out at all. So we have persons here who Duking, do you eat out? Or you love cook? You don't eat out. You don't love to eat what other people cook sometimes, Duking. Especially fried chicken. Right? So we have to do that, man. And then in the process, while we're changing the habit, Erica Dennis says, it is said, save 10% of your earnings, whatever the amount is, and you would be surprised over time the amount you save. Give yourself a monthly or weekly gift by saving at least 500 little by little. Little by little, it will add up. Exactly, exactly. So the general rule is that you save, and people tend to think that 10% might sound, or the $500, Miss Dennis, might sound like it is so small, but you build a habit. And when you build that habit, that is what is going to turn around. And if you think 10% is small, it will eventually become 12 and 13 and 20 until you can do more. So after you've given your tithe, and after you've taken out your expenses, which we're talking about cutting them down, you have to try and save. So the more you restrict your expenses, the more money you have to really save. And so that's a good way to go. Forming good habits. And I was going to say one of the things that I have been advocating for is teaching our children how to be better at managing their money, right? And don't think the child is too small to learn about money management, because if many of us learned how to manage our money, we would not find ourselves in this difficulty where we feel that we have to spend even when we don't have the money. We just, oh, I just need to have this. So your appetite for things that you can't afford is so large, and it's like an addiction. It's like you can't get rid of the habit to spend even when you can't afford it. And that is how this credit card debt come in. So if we can teach our children and those around us to spend more wisely, to be able to have a better life in the future, then we would have accomplished quite a bit. So we have quite a bit to do. We have quite a bit to do, and COVID has been teaching us quite a bit of lessons, guys. It has been teaching us quite a bit. So we have to really, in a lot of ways, give thanks for COVID and what it has done. Because Shangi, did you realize that you could actually get into the fast food business? Do you realize that you can get into the fast food business because we do it so well now? Yes, Yes. So many of us have skills now that we didn't know we had before because you find yourself, you, I guess who I heard? Naomi. Is it Naomi? Naomi is the model. Exactly. Is what's her name? Naomi, I think that one that when she's going on the plane, she's in a hazmat suit. You make pizza. Really? Oh wow. Nice. Nice. And I know, wow. Vegetable pizza. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it, Shangi? Do you think after COVID you will make it again? Shangi says, I have the fast food dono. Yes, girl, yes. I know. Boy, I am telling you, experimenting now with with different foods. Exactly. Experiment once in a while, Shangi, once in a blue moon, because you realize now that you don't have to do it as often, but once in a while, you probably will do it, but not as often. Yes, even Shangi says, even when COVID is gone, I got it. Yeah, yeah. No man, it's a different lifestyle now, Shangi. You realize that we can't do the same things we've been doing over as we had done before. We have to change up things. We have to make some shifts to be better. If we want to live a freer life, if we want to take the vacations that we want in the future, if we want to have some saving where if we're sick, we don't have to be calling on family and friends to help, or we can leave our children in a better, we can lead them to having a better life than we've had. Then we have to do things better. We have to really be more conscious about our habits. And one of the bad habits that so many of us have is the habit of spending more than we can afford to spend. We make we have an income of $5,000, yet when we look at our expenses, we are spending 6 and 7,000, fully well knowing that we can't afford it. But somehow we can't stop it. So I am hoping we can get to a place where when COVID is done, like how we learn how to wash our hands so often now, when COVID is done, we learn to spend so much less and be happier with the people around us, with the things that we never saw before because we were so blinded by the newer things, or we were so distracted by the things that were being offered up for sale. Oh, sale here and sale here and sale here, when you did not need to buy it. So these are things when we consider our ways, I want us to be better. I sure I am learning new things. Shangi, I am learning some recipe now. And Shangi, I am telling you, I have cooks on this channel here, Miss Dennis is a chef. And Duke King is a chef too. I don't love it like that. But I'm telling you, I'm learning, Shangi, to do some new things. Oh, by the way, one of the things, I don't know, Miss Dennis, if you probably want to try it, but Shangi, one of the things I'm going to try one day, since I'm learning, I'm going to try is to do jollof rice. That is some Nigerian rice, but it looks so nice. Rice, it looks so nice. That's such a nice rhyme, don't it? I'm going to try and do jollof rice one day because it doesn't look difficult. And since I'm getting into the habit of trying new things, trying new ways, and trying, of seeing what I can learn in COVID. COVID is a good time to learn new skills. So you see that you've never heard of it. Okay. So I think it's Jallof. jollof rice. I'm going to try it. It looks good. I hear that my friends have had it several times, Nigerian. My co-worker who has Nigerian friends, she has gotten it so many times and she rages about it, how good it is. And when I look for it on YouTube, it looks really nice. So I am going to try it one day and I'm going to tell you how it turned out. I'm not promising it right now, though, Shangi. And Miss Dennis, try too, Miss Dennis. But it looks good. But Shangi, one of the things I got from your thing is some decoration, some ideas for some decoration. Look good. So I am going to try it myself. So there are so many things we can learn from each other, and we cut. Oh, Miss Dennis says it. That was my next thought. So true. Assist your children in making saving plan and really encourage them to save, especially coins. People throw out coins. Yes, we in. I don't know how it is your culture in California, Shangi, but our culture here, we don't like coins because we think it makes us look poor. Yes. So we walk away from coins in the supermarket. Yeah, we don't want to have coins because it just doesn't fit our profile. But growing up, we used to have what we call a saving pan, a piggy bank, and we used to save coins. And when it comes on to Christmas, yeah, we many of us haven't learned that in Jamaica yet, Shangi. We haven't taught our children what it is to save coins. That it's really a good habit. But growing up, all of us as kids, including Duking, growing up, if he can remember, all of us had our saving pan, and when it come on to Christmas, we would empty the saving, and that would be what we would spend for our Christmas. Sometimes we would get makeup from our parents on it, but usually they don't have it. But because we were saving throughout the year, we were able to buy what we wanted. So one of the videos I have this week, I believe, is how to teach our children to be good stewards of money, to manage money well, because they actually earn money. And if we can teach them that you don't have to spend on the sweets and the chocolate and the things that they want to spend on. Yeah, you spend some money, but you don't have to spend as much on it, then we have a generation that won't face the problems we face now. So that's the route I want to actually take to see if we can do better with our kids, teach them how to be how to do better with their money. You save coins, Shangi, and I don't know if the idea that, well, I think many of us would save the US coins, but the Jamaican coins, we don't want it. Shangi says, if I go to the store and break a 20, I do not spend the change. I bring it home and spend and put it in a water bottle, a large water bottle. Oh, wow. I cash it. I cashed in almost 400 from last year in February of this year. What? Wow. Awesome. Awesome. So I am hoping we can get back to the time when we teach our children that kind of that teach them to save coins alone. Right. So good, so good. At home, Shangi says I have a coin counting machine. Wow. Wow. Awesome. Welcome, Lovette. Welcome to our live. Welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you, my cousin? Thank you for coming on to support. You're on the same page like me. I watch a lot of Nigerian movies. Yes, girl. And I got a new Nigerian customer. That is the fish she is going to teach me. Okay, great, great, great. Shangi says, yes, at home it was an expensive. It was not expensive on Amazon. Okay, okay. Yes, love it. I think because I think you use the term um you use, YouTube don't like that term. That is why. So you have to change what you said, even though we're talking about food, but or YouTube sees food is like they think it is we're doing something illegal over here. But we were talking about, I understand what you're saying, love it. And yeah, I watch their channels a lot. But love it, today we're talking, love it, about how we can save. And one of the ways we want to save is to cook for ourselves, eat in rather than going out into the restaurant and eating. Oh, I did not know, Shangi, really, that we could have a money counting machine at home. I've actually never seen one. I've only seen one well, we know it's in the bank, but the only other place I've seen one is in a Western Union. I've never seen one. I didn't even know they sell those things on online. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, love it. So we were talking about how we need to save and to teach our children how to really save and to cut out some of the expenses that we have, because we find ourselves spending. It's small, it's a perfect size. Oh, great. What we do, Shangi, is to, if we have the coins, you 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 package them like the same denomination. I know, right? Love it. Yes, that language is acceptable. We package the coins into the same denomination, like our $20 coins. We put all of those together, our $5, our $10, and then you take it to the bank like that. That's how we have to do it here. But I've never seen it like that. Oh, oh. Well, we take it to the bank, they wait, and they give you the denomination in notes, right? So yes, love it. We were talking about getting ourselves better prepared in terms of our expenses and cutting out some of the unnecessary things, because COVID really is doing a number on us. COVID is really just breaking us financially. And if we can get our if we can get our expenses under control, we would do so much better. Some of the things we spend on, some of the places you love it says, because I cook almost all my food. Yes, Shangi does that as well. Love it. Duki does that. And Miss Dennis, who was here with us earlier, she does that. And I cook my food to love it. From time I walk with my lunch, um I just cook at home. It has been a habit for years, but I notice some people don't, they just don't like, some people will say they don't like their own cooking. So if we can prepare our meals, if we can reduce our expenses, Ms. Dennis says persons can learn to cook, bake, etc. Google your recipe and tweak to your likeness. Yes, indeed. And I was saying, Miss Dennis, you know that I am not a chef already. I don't like to cook, but I've had to do it. And so you do it. Googling your recipe, that is so good. And So many opportunities are online now for us to learn to do things. And I was saying, Naomi, I think her name is Naomi Campbell, the model. Recently, I read, I think about a week ago, that she said when COVID came in, I didn't even know her grandmother was Jamaican. Her grandmother that she grew up with taught her every single thing. Jamaicans, you can do everything as a Jamaican unless you're worthless. So she did not have a helper in her home when during this lockdown. She cooked for herself, she cleaned her entire house, she ironed her clothes, and she was giving credit to her grandmother. Now imagine if we teach our children these skills, how much, what a change we would have in in the next generation. They wouldn't have to. My friend told me that she was coming home in the rain last week, and the line at KFC was so long, she had to go over into the other lane. This is pouring rain. Right, love it says, and I have saved a lot by cooking my lunch and bringing it to work. Also making my own juice. Yes, yeah. But so many persons don't know that, love it. They think it's easy for you to just go and buy lunch. And you know, anything that is so easy is always just a temporary period of satisfaction, and it usually turns out into long-term problems. Because if you eat from your own kitchen, you know what you're eating. And if you eat out, despite the fact that sometimes you probably want to eat something different every now and again, but if it's a regular habit, you're going to have health problems soon. So we we just have to reshape our thought process. We have to, um, in this season, spend a whole lot less. We have to make sure that we show our children what we're doing to make the changes so that we have them on board as well. And we underestimate the ability of our children to adapt to the changes. We don't give them the credit because, oh, they're not going to like this, so they have to do the same old thing. No, our children understand no matter how young they are. A matter of fact, if you don't train them from they're young, you can't manage them when they're older. So if you train them from now, come and help me to do this, come and help me to do that, then you are not going to see the result that you're expecting. So you can't expect to be shopping crazy now and your children seeing that and they are going to do different later on. No. So the habits you want to form, like how we want to form better spending habits, no, we have to train our children. That is getting them involved in the process as well. Shangi says, yes, love it. I am working at home because of COVID, so I eat at home now. No COVID tainted food here. Great, great. But it has saved me money. I have hardly spent any money on gas. Exactly, exactly. I've hardly spent any money on gas. So, right, Shangi, and then you can divert that money now into, sorry, you can divert that money into something else, right? You can find other ways now of, a matter of fact, people think they can't save during COVID, but you actually can save during COVID because it is a time, as you said, now, Shangi, where you're not going out as much, you're not going to work. So while you're using probably more utilities at home, but because you are able to save, it's better. I still budget it as lunch money and gas, but it is adding up. Exactly. So That is so good, Shangi, that you keep it within that same line, and then at the end you will see how much you've been able to save. Lovett says, my late dad leave me a large jar he used to save in. So all the coins my grandkids find go into it. So there is a way for them to start saving. Yes, yes. And you know, children love to see when the money pile up, especially if we buy you have a jar, Shangi. I imagine it's a transparent jar. When you teach your children to save, maybe something more encouraging is to use, love it. Yeah, Shangi says that is smart, love it. Yes, so maybe love it. I don't know if your jar is a transparent one so they can see their money piling up, and they love that. They love that. So we can find ways of just making our kids do better while we are learning ourselves, learning from them as well. Yes, guys. So thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed the discussion with you this evening. You know, I really enjoyed it. And we have learned some things about ourselves during this COVID that I don't want us to forget. We will not forget the experience, but in terms of the skills and the knowledge about ourselves that we have learned, I don't want us to forget it at all. I am hoping to transfer these into just make them everyday better habits, and to do so much better for ourselves, and not to be caught next year off guard when COVID not going around and we're wondering. So I'm hoping we can just find ways to um to save more, to spend less, to eat from our homes, to go in our closets and see the clothes that we have forgotten what they look like, to ensure that we are utilizing the free things that are available, because a lot of things are free now, don't it, Lovett and Shangi? A lot of things are free now, you know. Um, People giving advice now that they never gave, they were hoarding for forever. People are putting their exercise tips online that you had to pay for before. People putting on recipes online that they never shared before. Oh, that it was their secret recipe. Oh yes, Lovett says yes, it's a jar. She has a jar, right? Right? So we have so many opportunities now to just transfer that into a lifestyle that is better. So tell me, guys, the next time we meet, what do you want us to discuss? Because we're going to meet on a Friday, and I am thinking on a Sunday evening when we are relaxed, we can have some discussion, like a half an hour. What is it you want us to talk about next time? This evening we had a good discussion about expenses. Not that we won't come back to it, because money is always expense is always going to be there. But what do you want us to talk about next time when we meet Sunday evening, same time? What do you want us to talk about? Sunday and Friday, Shangi. By the way, Shangi, do you go live? Lovett says, cause I am still sad I didn't get the Spanish rice recipe. Girl, let me read it first. Sorry. Cause I am still sad I didn't get the Spanish rice recipe my mom used to make. Love it. I remember Miss Lynette cooking that Spanish rice recently. I'm telling you, every single time. But love it, we weren't thinking that she would have gone so soon from us. Shangi says, I've only been live once. Okay, okay. So it's so good to have you over here, Shangi. It's so good. we're almost on 2 hours now, and what a good discussion we have had. Yeah, we did not know Love It, but I think we can try it. Yeah, you and I can try it. Shangi, what do you want us to discuss the next time? Sunday evening, say Sunday and Friday, because my thought, Shangi and Love It, I love Fridays for me personally because Friday, even though you feel tired and exhausted, I like to get myself in a planning mode. That's what I love to do on a Friday, get myself into a planning mode because life is not going to get the better of me. Thank you, Shangi. Yes, I really enjoyed your participation. Lovett says my jar is transparent, so they can see how far their coins reach. Girl, it is exciting when you can see it. So I know they're loving it. I want to hear the topic you want us to talk about, Lovett or Shangi, on Sunday. So we're going live 2 times a week, Shangi. Sunday and Friday evening when we can, you know, just sit down and have a discussion about what's happening, how we can improve ourselves. Shangi, love it. Shangi's channel does a lot of teaching too about um decoration, home and lifestyle channel. So you learn a lot from it. So you can look at her channel. I'm waiting, guys. What topic do you see us doing on Sunday afternoon? Oh, yours is too, Shangi. Yes, yes. 10-gallon water bottle. Shangi, that's the one with the handle. That's a bottle, the big bottle that has the handle on it to the side. Yes, you're welcome, Shangi. You're welcome. You have great content over there. Yeah. All right. So I was asking Shangi if the water bottle is the one with the handle on the side of it. Oh, okay, okay. For the sparklets. Oh, 10-gallon. Oh, our 10-gallon like that, Shangi, in Jamaica here, it has a handle on the side. Where right, our 10-gallon like that you put in the water dispenser, it has a handle on the side. Yeah, but that's a good one, Shangi. That's a good one. Yeah. Yes, yes. All right. So, guys, it was so great to have you. Love it. I don't hear the topic yet. What you think you want us to discuss on Sunday, and then you're gonna invite Brittany and Zoe to join. Please, love it, and your customers to join. Changi, you can invite others to join in as well. We would, want to have a great discussion. It was good to have you. It was so good to have you. Love it. It was good to have you. Boy, love it. And Shangi, your country is keeping me up. Your country, Shangi and love it, is keeping me up, man. Love it says we can talk about how to help children back in Jamaica. Also, you just need to find Shangi. You just need to copy her name right here and put it in YouTube and you'll find her. That's the same name of her channel. Right? So yes, love it. We are going to do that then, how we can help children in different ways. In different ways. Duke King says, give me a sec, sis. He's typing. Yes. And Shangi says, it is great. Oh, Shangi, I have, when was the election was Tuesday? I went to bed minutes to 4 on Tuesday. I went to bed minutes to 2 a.m. on Wednesday. No, Tuesday, right? Minutes to 4 Tuesday night into the morning, then Wednesday, then Thursday. And I'm up late again tonight because I want to see what's happening. You're keeping us up, but wow, the world is watching. We are watching. So you see, even with that, it is causing an upstirring over here because we in Jamaica, yes, Duke King says helping us understand the economy better in terms of its growth. Yeah. So I was saying Duke King, love it. This is Dukey, that's Dukey. You remember Dukey, love it. My brother Dukey, that's Duke King Entertainment. That's Duke King right there. Love it. That's Miss Lynette, Auntie Lynn daughter. Yeah, love it says yes. I will send a topic. Good night. Oh yes, love it. All right. Great having you. Great having you, love it. So we're gonna go live Dukey Friday evening and Sunday evening. So thank you guys for coming. We are going to Shangi, it is just not doing well. I'm telling you. It is I am boy. Yes, it is unrest all over the world from what is going on. Yes, I'm telling you, it's unsettling. It is unsettling. I'm telling you, it's unsettling, man. And because in Jamaica here, Shangi, it is we are very dependent on the US. We are very dependent on the US. We Everything really is impacting us right now. So we are waiting on the result with, bated breaths. And it is any instability there causes instability here. And that is why, if we don't take stock, Nadine is up. Yes, say hi to Nadine for me too, love it, please. I am telling you, love it, I have not had a good night's sleep since Tuesday. I've not had a good night's sleep since Tuesday. A customer of mine told me today that she said her husband has not slept in his bed since Tuesday because he wants to see the exact time when the result come out. I said, yes, I'm not staying with you. I want to see it too. So, as I don't think the result is out as yet, Shangi or Lovett. The full result or counting is still going on. Any counting still going on? But it is, say hi to Nadine and Rach and Miguel for me, please. And I don't remember his name, but say hi. But it has not been a very good and it has not been a very stable week. Duking, you not bother with this thing, but me are the new president. Shangi says, yes, it is horrible. We had election Tuesday and still no winner. Yes, man. And that is first world. Yes, that is first. But then again, Shangi, record number of voters turned out in your election. So that's a good thing from you. Here in Jamaica, we got our results very soon because our turnout was 37 something percent. Yeah, 37 something percent our turnout. So our turnout was bad. You had over 100 and something million persons voting. So that's record. You voted 3 weeks ago. Great. Because I believe people shouldn't really be having any kind of talk without voting. If you don't vote, if you're eligible to vote and you don't vote, you don't have anything to say. So good that you exercised your right to vote. I'm glad that you did, right? So guys, we are going to, because this is a pandemic, help me to start. Because this pandemic helped me to start my own business, and girl, business is going great, great for me. Counting is still going on. All right, love it. When I tell you, Changi, you're working from home. Are you a business owner? Love it. God has blessed us tremendously during COVID, no matter what we say. That's awesome. Shangi said that's awesome. Love it. Dukey says check out his channel. Love it. So you just need to just copy the his name and you will see him. Or I will send it to you. Love it. I will share it. Yeah. Okay, Shangi says, yes, I am, but it is not my main income. Exactly, exactly. And so that is what we also want to promote, that people can do a whole lot in this time, no matter how bad it looks, Shangi, that people can do so much if they put their minds to it. And love it. Congratulations again. Congratulations again. Love it. I've been pushing and encouraging, and finally it happened. Look at when it happened. It happened in its right time, in COVID time. God has been faithful to his children. Congratulations to Shangi. You are doing something else. Duking is also on the same path of owning businesses, and God is just going to just nourish and flourish the businesses. I said, um, yes, he has. He has indeed. I said to a client today, look here, man, no matter what COVID is going on with, you are never going to see the children of God suffering. You don't have to have money to be happy in COVID. God is going to place a seal of peace and covering over his children. You are going to what? I was here yesterday, and I'm just telling you how God is good. And I heard, hello, hello, hello at the gate. And I said, hi. I wasn't expecting any visitor. And I saw the what you call them now, the persons who mow the lawn in the community. I don't remember the name. And he says, do you want pumpkin? And I say, yes, man, where you get pumpkin? He said, I plant pumpkin around the back there. And I'm just sharing a pumpkin in the community. And I said, what? God is a God. God is a provider. So Duke King told me that, sis, I am the only one in this community not complaining. Who is it but God? Shangi, you are not complaining. Love it. God is moving. God has moved so mightily on your heart that you finally decided after years of love it, do it, man, love it, do it. You finally did. And look at what God has done. And I'm telling you, when I go to my place too, I say, God, you are just a provider, and I am not going to worry about anything. So let us just give God thanks, guys, for this tremendous opportunity where we can even share this evening. And have just a great discussion of how to just do better. And if we are business persons, we know we have expenses and we can make things better by just managing. Lovett says, sis, you know how long I'm doing here, working for someone else, and now on my own. Now on my own, also Devon start his own restaurant in May, and his business is doing great too. God is good. Look at that. Shangi says, I have a bounty in the midst of a pandemic. Amen. Amen. Shangi, what business are you in, if you don't mind? God is good. Duke King says, did you know I prayed for my channel, sis, every day? Duke King, I am telling you, I said, God, give Dukin some topics to talk about that is going to take his channel across the globe like he never expected. I pray for your channel too, Duking, and I encourage you to continue. Shangi says, that is awesome, love it. I am telling you, because Shangi, you don't know love it, but love it has been doing here. Love it. You have been a stylist from 1993. I knew you 1993. So probably from the late 80s. And finally, COVID brought her on her own, Shangi, from the time I've been saying, because you're good. You need to just go on your own. And I'm telling you, when God says you are to be the head and not the tail, you're to be the lender and not the borrower, it means you have to put yourself in a place where God can just prosper you, because he says what? You are like the tree planted by the rivers of water. God is a God of plenty, plenty blessing, plenty peace, plenty ideas, plenty strength. He's just a God of bounty and plenty. So I love it. How long you've been a hairstylist? And Shangi, she is awesome. So we pray for the businesses that are opening up the opportunities, the eyes for God to just open up opportunities. And one of the things I will say, when Duking started out, I said, brother, you are brave, because I wasn't doing anything for myself. I said, Duking, you are brave. You are brave. And God has just prospered it. I help disabled. Shangi said, I help disabled and elderly to be financially stable. What? Shangi, you mean we're in the same kind of business? I'm talking about the finance, but my business is a balloon decor business. Wow. You would think COVID would make that business suffer, but no, people need balloons for celebration. Shangi, this evening I followed a friend of mine across my business to go buy balloons. Think about that. Shangi says, celebrations are small at home. Amen. Look at that. Jamaica. Yes, love it. So I believe that when we have opportunities like these, COVID has been a platform of opportunities if we only see it. And Shangi, you've seen it. Duking, you've seen the blessing of God. Love it. You have a testimony because your business started in COVID. Shangi, you and I and Duking, we have been before COVID, but God has kept the businesses going. He has just prospered and prospered these businesses. And love it, you are going to just bear witness to God's graciousness and goodness. So I am happy, guys, for our businesses. I am just grateful to God that He has done so many great things for His children. If we can just pass the word along, bless others, encourage others who don't see the opportunities in these times, because people see challenges, they don't see opportunities. I want us to continue to see opportunities, and where we can branch out, we branch out and we share tips and ideas of how to just do better. We shared a lot this evening on how to cut our expenses. So we're going to share more on how we can do much, or we can do other things to just be better. So from Jamaica, Shangi and Lovett from Jamaica, thank you for joining. We are praying for you over there. We are praying for ourselves over here. From Duking too, thank you for joining. I have had a wonderful evening with you all. Thank you so much for sharing. I am not sure how to do it, but there is a way. I've seen persons do it where you can actually call in and then you can see the persons. Yes, love it. Doing here, Shangi. Look at it, Shangi. She has been a hairstylist for over 25 years. And she's in the US working for others 15 years. And did not go on her own, even the many times I kept encouraging her. And look at how nothing happens before the time, though, love it. Sometimes the blessings are delayed because of our actions, but I am happy that you've seen it fit to just step out in faith. We do things in faith and trust God to do his part. And God says his word will never come back to him void. It will accomplish what it set out to accomplish. And that is to bless his children and to ensure that we're protected and we are covered and we are always under his wings. Yes. Shangi said, whoa, love it. It was time. I am glad you are thriving. Yes, yes. So, guys, we will see each other on Sunday. Hopefully, we will have a result by then, Shangi and love it. Hopefully, we won't discuss politics over here. No, I'm not into the discussing, but I want the anxiety to just clear off and we can get to just talking about our things. So we have some topics to talk about. So I am happy to have you I'm happy that you stayed with me tonight when you could have been doing other things. I'm happy that you shared in the discussion. So we are calling it over for the tonight. Have a wonderful Saturday, and we will see each other Sunday evening. Thank you, Shangi. Thank you. Thank you, chatmates. Yes, we call them chatmates. Yes. Thank you so much. Dukey, thank you. Thank you, Miss Dennis. I think Miss Dennis is gone. Love, love. Thank you, love, love. Have a wonderful evening. Yeah. Happy to have had you both. So we'll see each other on Sunday, and on Friday, we'll make it a date where we can have some discussions. Bye, guys. Tomorrow, love it. I'm in the shop. Shangi, you work on Saturday too? Because I work on Saturday. Love it works on Saturday too. Duking. Well, Duking, yeah, Duking work on Saturday. Oh, you don't? Oh, wonderful. That's your rest day. Okay, great. So that's good. All right, so enjoy your night, guys. And I am going to catch up on some other jobs now. And I will see you on Sunday. Thank you. Have a great, great night. Bye.